What's up, everyone? Welcome to the One Club, a podcast for visionaries, builders, and purpose driven individuals committed to growth, clarity, and meaningful relationships. This isn't motivation, this is transformation. Here we talk business, we talk personal growth, we talk relationships honestly, intentionally, and without filters. Because building a life bigger than yourself requires more than ambition, it requires standards, discipline, and the courage to become who you're meant to be. If you're here to just consume, this isn't for you. But if you're here to build, to raise your standard, and maximize the potential you were given, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Louis Xavier, and this is the One Club. Let's get into the show. All right, guys. I am super excited for today's episode. One, because I'm meeting and establishing a new connection with a fellow brother that's over in Dallas. And two, because I get to learn about a space that, or we get to learn about a space that I'm completely brand new to. I don't know anything about options trading. I don't even know what it is. So I'm excited to welcome my brother, Kam Dasani, here on the pod to drop some gems on options trading, the opportunity that lies within it, and to give us a zoom into his world. Kam, how we doing today, bro? Of
Doing fantastic, man. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
course, man. So there's so many questions that come to my mind, dude. But let's start with the fundamentals. Like, what is options trading?
Yeah. So options trading is making specific predictions about what's going to happen to a stock by a certain date. So instead of just like buying Tesla stock, which anybody with a brain knows, like, oh, Tesla's a good company, electric cars drive, Elon Musk is smart. Cool. You can do that. The problem with that is you're not going to make a lot of money unless you already have millions because Tesla only goes up like 5% a year on average.
Of course.
So putting 10 grand in Tesla stock doesn't make you a lot of money every year. But making a specific prediction about Tesla, such as Tesla, I'm just giving an example, Tesla's $600 call by September of 2026.
Mm,
That's a prediction. That means we're predicting that Tesla is going to go to a certain price by a certain date. The market rewards us for being more specific with our bets.
got it, dude. You did a great job in putting that into layman's terms because it gave me a clear snapshot as to what this space is. Cool. So, I'm familiar, and I have a couple of friends that are huge blue chip stock traders. Um, but like personally for me, I haven't gotten into it yet. Like I have maybe like 30 or 40 thousand dollars invested in the market, but I don't actively trade it just because right now I'm very focused in active income within my business. And I understand that learning how to trade options or learning how to trade blue chip stocks is a skill in itself. So I'm a huge believer of if you chase two rabbits, you're gonna end up losing both. So I'm aware that like, hey, I'm contributing to my portfolio every month, but I will actually get embedded with it and learn the ebbs and flows of it once I find the time ready. But it's good to learn and to know what it actually is you're doing. I guess what comes to mind is how did you get into this space, like options trading? Like, where were you before? How did you get into this?
Well, I want to address one thing that you said about not having the time. So, the
Hmm.
reason why most people steer away from trading, like you said, is because you want to focus on active income and you don't want to chase two rabbits. We've actually solved that problem. We're one of the only companies in the world to have solved this. I started off mentoring traders, and I'll get to my story in a second. But people were able to learn my strategies, learn my team's strategies, ex Wall Street guys that know the institutional way of trading and, you know, left Wall Street because they realized it was more freedom behind trading your own capital and teaching others.
Right.
Additionally, people don't know this, working on Wall Street actually prevents you from trading your own money. You're not allowed to do both. You're only allowed to, because you have the inside edge, it's technically insider trading. So people don't know that. So imagine you're such a good trader, you can't even trade your own money and you're stuck on salary. Now, keep in mind, it's a good salary working at Wall Street, but show up in a suit, walk through the windy streets of New York, rain or shine, work on weekends. That's that life. Me
Yeah.
and my traders, our lives are much better. Okay. And obviously I'm biased. But my point of saying all this is the problem we solved is we have a software that's fully SEC compliant, which if you want to, I'll explain what that means in a second, but it's fully
Mhm.
above board. And all it does is connect your trading account to mine. So that 30 to 40K that you're talking about that's kind of sitting and growing slowly, imagine if it just copied every trade that I did automatically, specifically to your budget and proportionally to your budget. That's exactly what mine does. So it's not an AI bot where it's like, hey, I'm selling you this bot and it might work. And like, you don't even know if I really use it. So I say all that to say I've solved every problem in the trading space in the context of time.
Sweet.
So I don't know if you have any questions on that, feel free. Otherwise, I'll jump into my story. I just wanted to address that.
That's like a private conversation for us to have aside from this podcast because that just sparked a lot of interest for me, honestly. But yeah, we're ready for the story, man. Share your story.
So, okay, 2017, I graduate college. I moved to San Francisco and I'm working in tech, specifically for a fintech company, which is financial tech.
Okay.
The company was named Veeam, so VEEM. Goldman Sachs was a big investor in Veeam. And obviously, Goldman Sachs, investment bank, they invest in startups. They also have a big hedge fund division, one of the biggest funds in the world. So I start to network with these people at Goldman. Some of them are bankers, traders, hedge fund guys, so on and so forth. And my manager, more specifically, is really connected with these guys. And he's staying in touch with a lot of these guys that are leaving Wall Street for whatever reason. And these guys are trading mentors now, and they're teaching people how to trade. And, everything my parents taught me is, oh, it's all a scam. It's too good to be true. If they're so good at trading, why would they teach it? Another question I love to ask, another question I love to answer when people ask me. But the point is, I'm watching my manager trade at work. And I'm
Hmm.
like, what are you doing? Like, specifically, he's like, I'm swing trading options. And I'm like, what is that? And he's like, so it's not day trading. Day trading means I have to be right today. Swing
Mm.
trading means I have to be right later. That's the simplest way to explain it. So imagine this. If I tell you you have to walk outside and go to Rodeo Drive in LA today, and you have to get a date with a supermodel today, though, it has to be today, you'd be like, that's a pretty hard thing to do. Today? Like, it has to be today? You'd be like, yeah. But what if I said within the year? You'd be like, all right, more feasible. So options and swing trading options specifically, we don't have to day trade and be correct that day. We just have to be correct in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks,
Mm.
whatever prediction we make. So I'm like, okay, this sounds less risky
Of
than
course.
99% of traders losing it all because they day trade poorly.
Yeah.
So I start copying his trades and I'm learning the strategies. I'm making a few $100, few thousand every now and then. And I'm like, dude, this is like more fun. And it's kind of gambling, but like we know what we're doing. So is it really gambling? Like, not really.
Hmm.
And I'm just like thinking, and I'm like, I want to pursue this skill. So the best part was I didn't have to leave my job to get good because
There
it's
you go.
swing trading. I don't have to look at the screen all day,
Right.
right? I can enter a trade, go back to my day, and then sell it in the morning 2 weeks later. And that's basically how I got started.
Dude, what a story, honestly. And I think the coolest thing about it is that, like you said, you didn't have to leave your day job in order to start this venture, which a lot of us, and I'm currently in this transition. It's like, hey, I have to sacrifice my W-2 job in order to really start my business. So I think that opens up the possibility for a lot of the listeners today that, hey, you may be juggling a W-2 job, and swing trading options, if I'm using the terminology correct, isn't something that requires your 100% attention, right? And you've even simplified it a step further where you have this software that connects to your active trades where people just can fund the capital, and will use your wisdom and expertise to make the right calls. Is that right?
Every terminology that you just used was correct, and I love that you learned that quickly because that's what intelligence is. What does Alex Hormozy say? Intelligence is taking in information and using it quickly. For
Mm.
example, my trader, I told them, I'm like, hey, for our clients that are still on our mentorship, when you execute a trade, and it happens for all the software clients, like you said,
Hmm.
you still need to tell our mentorship clients that we're doing this trade because they don't know. So I'm like, a faster way to do this is Whisper Flow. And I have no affiliation with this company, bro. But if you don't have Whisper Flow on your computer, get it today when we get off this
I
call.
actually use Whisperflow for my text currently.
There you go. I use it for everything. But my trader, he's talking while he's trading. So he's like 20% gain, 30% gain, 40% gain. Enter this
No.
trade, exit this trade. So he's talking. It makes his life so easy now because he doesn't have to worry about typing while trading on another computer. But yeah, you're exactly right.
Dude, that's so cool. We're living in an era right now where like it is almost impossible not to be extremely wealthy and abundant. Hint at how, or notice how I didn't just say rich because that's a whole other story. But like extremely wealthy and abundant across all pillars. Like you can use AI for many things in life and in your business. And I love to hear that other people aren't just sitting here and scrolling, seeing all the opportunity there's in AI, and actually using it to leverage. That's great, dude. So far we covered what is options trading, how you got into it. So now I recall you saying that there's a lot of people out there, and listen, I have seen a handful of them that are coaches, and an outsider like me, like I'll be like, hey, if you're coaching on how to make money with this skill, are you making more money off the coaching than you are off the actual skill? Let me ask you that question.
I love that question. Yes. And here's why. A swing trade might take 2 to 4 weeks for me to make 30K, but I
Mm,
make 30K a day signing 3 clients.
mm,
There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is if people aren't providing the value that they charge.
of
So
course.
if I charge you 10K to join and put your own 10K into my software, but I charge you 10K. So now you're all in 20K, right?
Yeah,
But if I turn your 10K into 50 grand in 6 months, wasn't that good business?
of course.
So the trade takes longer because it's a swing, but I'm still selling you something that's extremely valuable. And you got to think of it this way: most trading people online, they'll sell you a course, they'll sell you signals, they'll sell you mentorship, but you don't really know if they're doing the trades until now. I connect my trading account to yours. So you know my skin is in the game. The same way a hedge fund is like, well, shit, we can't manage millions of dollars of
Yeah.
capital and not take our own trades. How shady would that be? How crazy would that be? Unless
Mm,
you're so shitty that you don't want to take your own trades, right? So I know that the future of this industry is what I've built because if these trading guru guys don't want to put their money where their mouth is, you'll know exactly why. Because all of
right.
them know that I have this software. They know. So I'm now building relationships with other traders that are actually good. Like that I vet them out and I'm like, show me your account. Show me your trading account. You can't show me your trading account, we're not having a conversation. Once I look at their trades, then I'm like, okay, cool. You should use my software to trade for your clients and make their lives easier. And you can charge more because they get to do no work and make money.
Mm, I love that. I love that. The next thing I want to get into. So, um, couple things come to mind, but I feel that this opportunity is like, how can anyone sleep on it? And like from your expertise, like there's no such thing as free money, but I feel like this gets as closest to free money as it really gets. So, what do you think keeps a lot of people from like starting their journey in option swing trading?
I think people have something called cognitive bias. And I don't
Mm,
know if that's the right terminology for what I'm about to say, but I know cognitive bias means something and it's something
yeah.
important. So here's what I'm trying to get at though:
Mhm.
people will believe whatever they want to believe. So when you hear people say, oh, it's too good to be true, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. It's like, are you successful? Are you where you want to be? Or are you saying that from a place of not having anything? Because the poorest people seem to know the most. That's what I've noticed. Bro, I swear to God, perfect timing for that question. I posted on my personal Instagram because all my friends, like friends, acquaintances from back home
Mhm.
follow me. And I'm like, hey, I posted $1 million in an account. Okay. I saw 135 people view it. and only one person said, "How can I get started, bro?" And I saw who else viewed it, and I posted today after 24 hours went by. I said, "This is why you guys are broke, because you can see a mill and not even try to evaluate this. Like, you don't have to say yes, but at least try. At least say, Cam, can you show me it over a screen share so at least I know it's true?"
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, but they don't even try because they would rather party, think it's too good to be true, spend money on Drake and Future's concerts because they didn't grow up with Drake and Future, so they're not mad at them, but they're mad at me for reaching higher and higher levels. That's why strangers are my clients, bro. My friends and family, my actual friends and family, are my clients too. Like they all are hooked up with the software. But most people that I used to hang out with from my neighborhood, bro, they don't want to be. Of course they don't. They can't even admit to themselves that they're wrong. So what holds people back is believing what they want to believe, despite all the evidence in the world proving them wrong.
Yeah, man. I believe that wholeheartedly. You are in your own way. And if you don't want to grow, it's because there's some limiting belief in your mind that you're holding on to subconsciously that's not allowing you to get to the next level. Um, and dude, I've seen this for myself too. Like thank God I have access to opportunities, a large network of different ways to make money. And sometimes I remember like I posted this like referral system that I have, and I posted like actual screenshots of affiliate commissions that I paid out, and I put like a CTA on there so people can swipe up. I think out of 746 or so people that watched it, only 10 swiped up. And the other 700 plus are the same ones that in conversation will tell you, oh, it's hard to figure it out, or it's hard to get started. I don't know how to make money. It's because they're passing up on the obvious opportunities that are right in front of their face. And like, I'm the first person to say, dude, like, success is not, or success, wealth, whatever it is you're striving for, um, isn't difficult. It's found through the mundane, simple strategies that if you do them disciplined over an extraordinary amount of time, you will reach whatever end goal you have. And at 22 years old, I've seen that happen for my life from 18 to 22 now.
You're
And
22 years old.
yeah, I'm 22, man.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
Yeah,
Fucking
thank you.
awesome. Do your thing.
And as I continue, I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and scroll and wait for the unlock this strategy to make millions of dollars. I'm just going to continue to do the simple, boring things that I've been doing for an extraordinary amount of time, and that's how I'm going to reach my end goal. So I love that you shared that.
Two things you just said there that are super important for your audience, right? What did you just say? The first thing is understanding this. How can something be too good to be true if other people have it? That's the first thing. So like if you know there are private planes, if you know there are Ferraris, if you know Bentley exists, Maybach is a car. You know these things exist. Who do you think has them? There's only so many industries. Trading and finance, tech, life, like insurance, right?
Yeah, real
Um,
estate.
real estate. Like there's only a couple more. So
Mhm.
you can't say things are too good to be true just because you don't have them or no one around you has them. Because I hang out with people that fly private. I don't fly private. I'm not there yet. I fly first class. I'm also kind of like I can afford private, but it doesn't make sense for me. Like, why do I need to do that? I could just go first class and it's comfortable and I network. It makes no sense.
Okay.
But that's the first thing. The second thing is understanding money loves speed. And most people are taking too long to make very simple decisions and missing out on opportunity because they think that they are waiting for the right time and that matters. There is no right time, bro. Ever. I have an opportunity right now to spend 25K to go do something really, really big. And you'll see
Mhm.
my episode drop for it. But it's basically the biggest audience of pop culture that I could ever talk in front of because of the connections I built through spending money to be in the right rooms. I want to make that very clear. So, what do you think a country club is? A country club is a place where rich people go and pay to go meet other rich people so they can become richer and enjoy themselves in the process.
Mhm.
But you're sitting here and telling me that paying for a system online, like not you, I'm just saying hypothetically,
Yeah,
people sit here and want to say things are too good to be true. Okay, then stay fucking broke.
dude,
Fine.
that That's the reality of it. And to drive a point home, dude, what you said about people spending days, weeks, months, years making a decision is insane. One of my mentors, future brother-in-law, told me this. He was like, dude, if there's one thing that will help you become successful faster is hurry up with decision making. You only get progress when you make decisions. In the ideation over analyzing phase, there's no money to be made there. Bet on something, commit to it, and run with it, kind of thing. So we'll close that little segment off there. Um, I want to give people practical advice or insight as to how to get started. And listen, for those of you guys tuning in right now, if you want to swing trade or learn the options game with my boy Cam, you could trade with him for free. He does have a community or an academy, I don't know if that's a better word, that helps you go from dummy, which is like me, a complete, blue ocean, to an expert and killing it in the game like him. I'll leave links and any contact information in the description of the pod. But for people who are still new to this and they're like, hey, Cam, I am working a W-2 job from 8 to 5 every single day. I have about $10,000, $20,000 saved. Where do I start? How much money is this going to require?
Here's the biggest thing. My trading mentor has 66 million liquid in Vanguard. I've
Jesus
seen it
Christ.
with my own eyes in person. Before he became my mentor, by the way, I asked him. He sat down with me in Miami. Outside, we were at National Hotel, and I go, "Show me your account." First thing when he says something, I'm like, I'm not even gonna. Why waste each other's time if you can't? He shows me. Bro, I had to grab the phone because I was like, I saw 66,00333, right? It's not perfect 66 million, but it's 66 and
Yeah.
something, right? And I'm like, okay. He shows me his trades. Very similar strategy to mine. But he told me this. There's no point in buying stock unless you have a million liquid. I'll
Of
say it
course.
again. There's no point in buying stocks, Tesla, Apple, Meta, unless you have millions, a million plus,
Hmm.
because it's not enough. Meaning, yeah, 5% a year on a mill is actually something. That's good. That's
Hmm.
good. That'll change your life. Like that'll change your million into something better than inflation. But if you have less than a million, bro, you need to trade or do something else that is higher leverage and higher income. Uh,
Yep.
so active income, I should say. So what do people need? If you have 10 to 50K, you're in a really good place to trade options. Okay. If you have 2,500 to 10K, you are still in a decent place to trade options. I've had clients turn 5K into 40K in 6 months. It's
Nice.
very, it's happened multiple times. If you have anything less than $2,500, you need to go to the bank and get 0% interest credit and trade with. Cam, that's risky. As opposed to what? You're already fucking broke. What's going to happen? The American Express is going to call you a few times and say pay us, and you're not going to do it. Then you go back to shit credit, and then you repair your credit and do it again. People
Yeah.
don't understand how easy it is to go get money.
Yeah.
Go get money. Even if you have under 10, I would recommend, like if you have like 7,500, we just turned Jeremy, one of our clients, hooked up to the software. 7,500 became 12K in month one, made a testimonial for us. But I even told Jeremy, go get more. Go get 25K. We'll make you six figures. Passive. And
Mm.
have the data. Like I'm not just saying words. Anybody can watch me and look me up and see I literally turned 25 grand into 100K from December 17th of last year, 2025, to March 4th
Mm.
of this year. I show my Robinhood account. I show every trade I do. You can't say it's AI. You can't say it's not real.
Dude, I didn't even know that you can trade with credit cards. Is that true?
You can't trade with credit. What you can do is get credit, liquidate it through apps that allow you to liquidate credit into cash, and then you use that cash. And
Mm.
if it's 0%, who cares? Because if it's 0%, then you have 2 years to pay it off.
Exactly. Guys, for anyone tuning in, I will put this obvious statement out there. This is not financial advice. We are just having a conversation. Before you make any decisions, make sure you do your due diligence. I do not have my Series 7. I
Neither
don't
do
know.
I. Neither do I. But hold on. I want to say something to that because I love that. Thank you for that disclaimer. It's important we say
Yeah.
that. Understand though, He said, go do your due diligence. He didn't say, go consult a financial advisor. And here's why. Financial advisors are fucking broke. Why would you
Yeah.
take financial advice from somebody that makes 60K a year at Merrill Lynch? Makes no sense. So go do your due diligence, sure, but yes, this we are legally not allowed to, like, I cannot say this is financial advice, but I'm richer than all financial advisors. That's my
Mm,
decision.
mm.
It's
There
just a
you go.
fact.
Yeah, facts are facts. You can't argue the obvious. I want to ask you a question that comes to my mind. Like, I know that a big thing of trading is obviously keeping up to staying up to date with like the news and things coming out about companies. And I feel that, like, at least for me, that's been extremely overwhelming. Like when I'm just trading regular stocks, like, where am I pulling my news from? What am I staying up to date with? Like, is there anything that you can share with us that helps you with staying on top of the news?
Yeah, so there's two types of like main categories. There's macro and then there's technical. Okay, so
Mm,
macro is like, hey, Iran war,
hmm.
gas prices are going up, which means certain stocks are going down because people are spending less on products and spending
Mm,
more on gas. So they're being
got
cheap when it comes to products. So that's the best part about options too, bro. When we trade options, we can make bets that certain stocks are going down and win when the market goes down. That's called a
it.
put. People don't know that. So people are like, Cam, how are you making money during the war? Well, we're predicting a lot of stuff is going down. All right.
Mm,
So that's macro. Technical is understanding the patterns within companies that have happened time and time again. I'll give you a very easy example. Just on
yeah,
Bitcoin, Bitcoin's not a stock, it's crypto. But
shoot.
if Bitcoin does the same thing every 4 years,
Hmm.
it's not that hard to win if you just hold it. We can make more specific predictions based on that logic on Tesla or Meta, based
Right.
on things that continue to happen. Now, we can teach you the ins and outs of that, free 14 days. Come learn our strategies. You
Mm,
will end up paying us. That's why I'm letting you do it for free, because you
there
will
you go.
see that within 14 days, either you will make money or some too many other people will make money, and you'll be like, oh, no, sure, I got to do this because it's
Mm,
true.
I love that. I love that, dude. We're gonna make a transition into the interpersonal, and why? Because I feel you're a very present publicly kind of person. You are connected with Fresh and Fit, American Income, and a lot of social media public figures. And I feel that I may be wrong, but when you're on speaking engagement and stuff like that, it's always stock or options trading, and it's what you do. Obviously, that's your bread and butter. But I think that that point is drilled home because people can easily search you up. You're, like I said, you're omnipresent across different channels online, and they can see what you do, and they can have a clear roadmap as to how to work with you. But a huge part of working with someone is establishing that rapport, is establishing that trust. Because if there's no trust, there's no rapport, there's no sale, right? So I want to give people a zoom in to who Kam Dasani is on a interpersonal level. All right. So you're probably gonna get a little vulnerable. We're gonna get a little intimate here. I do my due diligence on every guest, and if my notes don't lie to me, where am I at? So you went from running an underground cannabis operation to trading futures with an ex Goldman Sachs quant. What's the one skill that survived every chapter?
Hmm. First of all, I allegedly ran an underground cannabis operation.
Allegedly, yes, allegedly.
This is
Didn't
not
mean to point
financial
it this way.
advice. We have multiple disclaimers.
Yes.
Um, the one skill that ask the question again. I want to make sure I got it right.
Yeah. What's the one skill that survived every chapter from day one to where you are today?
That's such a good question that I actually have to think about it, because understanding that depression is in your head.
Mm,
So most people think that, like, oh, I need like Xanax, or I need like therapy, and I go to therapy, by the way. Like, therapy's great. Like, no, it's not a knock to therapy, but a lot of people think they need medication to fix themselves when most of the times they just need sunlight, exercise, and a good dating life, and like enough money.
Yeah.
I've been through a lot of ups and downs. I've lost hundreds of thousands before I ever made a few million. I lost 300 before I ever made 1 million.
Wow.
So understand that I can say mindset is a skill, but it's deeper than that. It's
Mhm.
understanding that you can't pick your pain. Sorry, you can't choose not to have pain, but you can pick what your pain is. So
Mm.
if I have something bad happen to me and I decide that this is going to be super painful and like I'm going to be depressed and like I feel the emotion, feeling emotion is fine. But
Yeah.
understand that if you take daily actions towards your goals, you will always feel better. So I remember during COVID, we were locked down. I was working a really hard W-2 job that was way out of my league. The entire company was Chinese, so I couldn't understand a goddamn thing they were saying half the time. And I was struggling, bro. I was struggling. I was like, God, I don't know what I'm doing here. Then the world got shut down, and I was now we're not even in office. Now we're working at home. So I'm at home, and I'm like, okay, instead of laying on the floor and staring at the ceiling, wondering where my life is going, what do I want? Okay, these things. How do I get there? I don't really know, but how can I at least do things on a day to day basis that will make me less depressed? It's not about
Yes. Yes.
undepressing yourself, for lack of better terms. Just do a couple things. I was waking up in the morning and I would walk in the sun and I would pray. And I
Mm.
was like, okay, be grateful. And for the first 3 days, I was like, this is fake. I feel fake. I feel like a facade. I feel like a fraud. And then on the fourth day, I'm like, oh, this positivity and this gratitude is real. And
Yeah.
I've been practicing gratitude since COVID because it's just natural now. And it makes me feel good. And it makes
Yep.
me not depressed. I'm not depressed right now. I'm just saying in general, it's a thing that makes you not depressed. Then it was like,
I,
okay, the gyms are locked down.
mhm.
Let me do 100 push-ups today. I can't do 100, at least do 20. I don't want to do 20, just give me 10. Just something. So having the mindset of knowing that your depression is in your head and you can get out without screwing yourself over with mood stabilizers and bad medications that'll screw you in the long run. You can do it.
Yeah. Dude, that you I couldn't have said it any better. It actually goes in line with a post I made today where it's like our life is no different than a TikTok or Instagram algorithm. What you feed it will get fed right back to you. Whatever piques your interest and whatever your mind is focused on is exactly what you're going to scroll on in reality. So the whole message behind it is like, hey, if you're living in lack and negativity and you don't like the state you're in today, switch up your algorithm. Start engaging with positivity. Start engaging with gratitude, like you said. Start focusing on abundance and opportunity, and you'll see how your algorithm switches shortly after that. You know, because we don't get what we want, we get what we focus on ultimately. And I'm a true believer of that, and I feel that you actually segued perfectly into because I had a note saying that you did go through a pretty depressing phase of your life. So thank you for sharing that first and foremost. But it's the truth, man, and I feel that you give the prime example of it because I can only imagine the headspace you were in at that time of not knowing what's kind of next. And people just want to go from 0 to 100 overnight. But you did 1% incremental, like betterment almost. And you got to be the man that you are today, you know? So for those listening, don't, I would say, don't focus so much on making drastic changes in your life. Just make consistent, gradual improvements, and you are able to get out of any circumstance that you are in life. So thank you for sharing that, bro. Um, Something else I wanted to talk to you about. We dove into that phase that you had. It was a little bit challenging for you. How has it been like establishing a new identity for you? Because I feel like that's something that you went through, something I'm going through right now, and people out there or listening may be dabbling with that themselves. You know, like you had a business, then were working at the W-2 job, and then went into options trading. How was like rebuilding that new identity and transitioning from Wall Street guy, right, to now options trader full time?
Well, I didn't work on Wall Street, so I worked for a company that Wall Street invested in.
Right, Veeam, that's what it was.
Tech company
Yes.
that Wall Street invested, but I was connected to a lot of Wall Street guys in that world, which is why I'm where I'm at now.
Got
But
it. Got it.
how did I? Yeah, so that's a great question too, man. You're hitting me with some good ones today.
Yeah. Let me give you context.
Yeah.
Maybe this will help clarify things. Like for me personally, I've been the general manager for a collision repair facility called No Limit Auto Body for the last 5 years. I
Yeah.
started when I was 18. I'm now 22. Dude, I went from making $700 a week to four, like 10xing my income from different income streams from there. And I've been able to do great things, but now I'm transitioning into real estate. And I have a whole real estate company that we're building with my future brother-in-law. And like I'm struggling firsthand of like, hey, I'm not a real estate person yet. So I
Mm,
can't get behind the camera and spit all this real estate stuff. Like, but if you talk to me about collision repair, I'm happy to go all day with you, you know?
mm.
So for you, you probably went through this yourself. How was it transitioning from working at Veeam to now being an options trader?
Dude, I mean, the thing is, people don't understand that's one transition. I've tried many things. So I tried Airbnb business, starting an Airbnb business. It's not that it failed, I just gave up.
Mm,
Everything that I failed at, I just stopped after like a month or two. And that's what people don't get. Everything works. So like Airbnb works. Now it's very saturated and it's a lot harder to be honest with you, but everything works. Turo, people are still making money doing Turo. Is it the best time to start a Turo business? No. But that's not the point. The point is all of these different things work. I shifted my identity over and over and over again. And I did it just like because I was like, I need to find my thing and I have to become passionate about this thing. And I was
right.
wrong. You don't have to be passionate. What you need is to become great. And once you become great, you will become passionate. So
Mm,
people are wondering why they're not interested in something. It's like, bro, you know nothing about it and you're not good at it. Like, I wasn't passionate about the gym until I started getting in shape. Then I was like, oh, I love this. I want these abs to pop more. I want to get bigger shoulders. Like I got into it because of results. So
mm,
to answer your question, confidence comes from results. People are looking for to have this identity and have confidence in an identity with no results.
right.
Understand that you're not supposed to have confidence. Understand that you're supposed to go get results. I'll give you an easy example. When I was single and I used to like go to the gym in San Francisco when I used to live in California, and I would see really pretty girls, really good, like in great shape. I was like, everybody in here is probably feeling exactly like I am, not confident, because they want to walk up with this girl and they can't do it. So if I
Yep.
just go and just be normal, at least it's even if she rejects me, at least it's better than like just standing and doing nothing and thinking about it and letting it bother me tonight. So that was my mindset and realizing I'm not supposed to be confident. I'm not supposed to be confident. Stop looking for confidence. So I would go and I would say whatever I want to say. And if we had a good conversation and it led to a date, which a lot of time it would, and I'd be surprised, I'd be like, oh, I could have just been normal. And like, you don't need some special line. And like, that's totally fine. And
Yeah.
that gave me confidence for the next approach and the next approach. So the point is, you need to go get results before you get confident.
Mm. Alex Ramosi has a quote that says, "Confidence is from having an undeniable stack of receipts that you are who you say you are." And I think that basically like summarizes or and answers the question I was asking. It's like a, even answers it for me. You know, like I'm like, hey, how do I shift into this new identity? Or someone listening is like, hey, how do I go from being a W-2 employee to starting my own power washing company or options trading? And it's like you're not going to get there until you start doing, and after you start doing, you will start being, and then the confidence that you're looking for is lies within or after those two actions. So
Mm.
thank you for sharing that, bro. Um, Something else I admire a lot about you is how old are you first?
31. I thought you were my age. That's why I was
Dude,
very impressed, bro. You speak very, very well for your age. Good for you.
thank you, man. You're 31 years young, and something that I've started doing this year, man, is investing in myself. Believe it or not. And when I say investing in myself, like, dude, before this year, I was that guy that like I wouldn't buy courses, like masterminds. I'm like, bro, that's a scam. Networking, I would only network when I go out to like a restaurant or a bar and stuff like that. I just thought of that space as like, oh, these are a bunch of people that make more money off of hosting these events than the actual business and receipts that they're actually jacking. That's a very New Yorker term, jacking. um, but now, thanks to my brother-in-law, like he's dude, he's 28, owns over $12 million in real estate. Is a role model for me and someone I look up to a lot. Not just for his wealth, but for the man he is. But he preaches on investing in self. He's paid thousands of dollars to go to Tony Robbins events, and we went to the yacht workshop with Rich Summers, and a list of events he's paid for. And now I started doing that this year. And I've been able to see, like, hey, I've met you through investing in these masterminds. And God knows the opportunity that we have together in the near future. And I've been able to collab with Rich. And just like so much opportunity and great results I've gotten from investing in self. And you are now plugged in with like American Income, Fresh and Fit. How do you, a big question I get from 18, 19, 20 year olds is, how do I get into those rooms? How do you get into those rooms?
Ty Lopez taught me this at his Beverly Hills Mansion event that everybody probably thinks is a waste of time, but this was my biggest takeaway. There's only two ways to level up in life: money or charm.
Mm.
Women can charm their way onto a boat if they're pretty. Men can buy the boat or buy a ticket to it or bring women, and now they are charming.
Yeah,
So
that's how
I
you
use
know.
these very simple examples, bro, to understand how do you get into rooms. If you're nobody, typically you got to pay to play,
Mm.
or you got to offer value that actually matters to the person. So when I was 21, 22, and I was like messing around in nightlife of San Francisco, I would just find girls that were trying to party and take them to the club and get them for free, and we get a free bottle. Like, find value to offer to people.
Mm.
With a lot of these bigger podcast guys, you can pay for these masterminds and meet them there. And then you can be like, look, I think this would make a great episode. Here's why. And pitch yourself to these people.
Mm.
Or for the people that are watching this that maybe want to get on certain pods or get in front of certain people, I'm connected to these guys, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not going to charge you for that introduction. I can make
Mm.
that introduction for you. And once again, how are you connected? Because you're watching the show, right? So there's a ton of ways to get connected. For example, Fresh is taking me on No Jumper with Adam 22. From there,
Wow.
I can go to DJ Academics. From there, I can go to DJ Vlad. So it's an escalator to the top, and that's why you gotta make money. So if you need to buy your way into certain rooms because you don't have value to offer, you can do that.
Mm. I love that, dude. I'm a I believe wholeheartedly relationships over money because in the listen, I like to say I'm 22 years old, but I'm just a 2 year old adult in reality. But because I've been always like prioritizing relationships over money, I've been able to see the yield in return from establishing those meaningful relationships, treating people right, not burning bridges, and how much opportunity it's come, has come out on the other side. And I feel that you're probably doing the same thing. Like you said, Fresh and Fit's now connecting you with No Jumper, and it's crazy that I'm having a conversation with someone who's going to be on No Jumper, because everyone's heard of it. That's great, dude. But I think that does answer the question for those out there curious, like how do I get into the rooms? And to summarize that, bring some type of value to the table. You can have a little bit of a charm, or you can pay to play. That
Or,
those are
or,
really.
right, right. But here's the thing. If your audience is your age, 18, 19, 20, 21, oh, Cam, what if I don't have value to offer? Go pay to learn high income skills.
Mm.
Now you have value to offer. Let me give you like a random loop of an example. Okay, it doesn't even have to be trading. Let's say this. First of all, biased again. You come trade with me. You know how many big business dogs are in there connected to my trading software because they don't have the time to trade, but they have other businesses? You can meet those people, and then it's a matter of, ooh, is this guy hiring? Is this guy hiring? Oh, I don't have any
Mhm.
skills. Okay, let me pay to go learn sales. Let me pay to
Yep.
go learn media buying for ads, whatever it is. And now you have value to offer.
Yep. Yep. That's it, dude. I'm gonna answer this. No one asked this question, but I know someone who's listening to this right now. This is going through their mind. The person who maybe paid $2,500, $5,000 to go to a mastermind, and they're like, "Yeah, but I paid this money and I didn't really get anything life changing out of it." And it's not the program or the mastermind; it's you. And I'm gonna tell you why. We're both part of the seven figure creator community for Rich Somers, and in there is a mass of high caliber individuals. I could be two people. One, the guy who pays and never engages in the group chat, never does anything, doesn't seek new relationships, doesn't look to establish rapport with the people in there. And I could sit down and preach, oh, I paid whatever for Rich's community and I got nothing out of it. Or I can be the person that I am and engage in the community, answer the questions, comment and like on people's posts as we do with each other, and now invite you onto the podcast and establish future connections. We're both the same person. We both paid the same price. One was more proactive than the other, and you got two different outcomes. And I feel that that goes with anybody that's offering a mastermind or a program like you have. It's not the program, it's not the mastermind, it's what you do with it. Would you agree
And,
with that?
yes, and guys, look, guys and girls, if you're watching this, I'm gonna give a guy example and I'm gonna give a girl example. You know I get unfiltered on here, so I'm gonna do it. Guys,
Let's do
if you go on a date and it doesn't work out, are you going to switch genders? No. Are you going to go gay? No, you're going to stay straight if you're straight because and just date another girl. Girls, if you go on a date with a guy and he breaks your heart, are you going to become a lesbian? Most likely not if you actually want to be straight, which most people want to be the genders that they are and the sexual orientation that they are. Most people. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being trans or doing anything you want. That's not the goal of that. The goal is to say if you have an experience that doesn't work out, do not blame the experience and say that thing is now bad. You think I haven't paid for mentorship that hasn't worked? One of the reasons I do what I do, bro, I literally want to make a shirt that says I save people from getting scammed on the internet. Straight up. Because anything I touch turns to fucking gold. And that's not me being arrogant. I've spent years, bro. I'm 31. It's been
Mm.
a decade of skills and mentorship and learning and collabing and failure and losing money to figure it out, to now let you know, and whoever is watching this to know that it is possible to have everything you want.
Mm. Thank you for sharing that, man. I felt that that came from the heart, and me and also the people who are listening, man, we appreciate that because I believe that it's because I am younger, that there's a lot of younger cats listening to the content we put out, man, and I feel that this kind of advice is truly what could change a trajectory for someone. Uh, I like to ask this wholehearted question. What does success look like for you? Because behind every person who's doing it, making creating wealth, there's a reason why. What's your reason why?
I always wanted to be able to make money from anywhere. That
Mm,
was really big for me. And two, I always wanted to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. When I say little things, I just want to go to the gym when I want to go to the gym. I just want to get a haircut when I want to get a haircut. I just want to not work after 3 if I don't want to. Like I that's what freedom is to me. Like all the fancy shit, the Rolex, the all that stuff is cool, but it all gets old, bro. What doesn't get old is the experience of life on your terms.
mm,
So that can be what I just said, doing what you want to do day to day, living where you want to live. I DM my girl earlier. I'm like, can we go to Chicago again this summer, but stay longer?
mm.
stay for a few weeks in the summer. You know, Chicago in the summer is fire. And I can do that now. When I had a W-2, I couldn't do that. They would say, no, 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 you got to be back in the office, even though you can do your whole job remote.
Yeah.
So just stuff like that. Um, I think flying first class is awesome, bro. Anyone who says it's not, bro, especially international, it makes the trip better.
Mm.
It's just the truth. So when I say fancy stuff, that's not fancy stuff. That's an experience.
Of course.
I'm still cheap on domestic flights for no reason, bro. I make multiple six figures a month, and I still do extra legroom, like regular seat, business class. Or like if I'm going like from like Dallas to Miami or something, and my trainer is like, bro, Cam, you need to start first class everything. And I don't know why I'm not doing it, but the reality is, first class, bro, it's a network too.
Yeah.
Talk
Yeah.
to the people in first class, bro. Like it's a limited group, and if you fly first class domestic, bro, you got money. Here's why. People think if you fly first class international, you have money. Yes, you do, but more people can justify a first class international expense. Less people will, like me, I'm a prime example. Less people can justify paying $1,500 to go from Cali to New York. They just don't
Yeah.
want to do it. They'll pay 3 grand to go from Cali to Medellin, Colombia,
Yeah.
which is what we did. 3 grand a ticket. I could justify that. But my point is, bro, success is what for me is about experience, convenience. So when I say convenience, right, like not worrying what I'm eating at the restaurant if I can have appetizers and dessert. Going out whenever I want. And we cook a lot too, but we eat really healthy food and we order a lot of organic, like really healthy stuff. And um, yeah, just like eating really well. If I want to DoorDash, I can, and not worried about, oh, DoorDash charges me 20 extra dollars. Valet parking, right? Very convenient. Like just things like that, man, where it's like you have so much in the bank and I still don't spend much money on garbage, but you're living life on your own terms.
That's it, man. That's what it comes down to, and I think that's a huge reason why for me too. You know, because I grew up with immigrant parents, and by no means am I going to sit here and sing you the song of I was poor and ramen noodles and all that stuff because I don't come from that upbringing. But there's certain things in my upbringing that if I was a magic genie, I would like to have changed. And one of them was seeing how constrained my parents were because of the lack of income and the lack of knowledge of like financial literacy and all that stuff. So that didn't allow them to be present for me, both physically and also emotionally. So as I'm creating my life, or me and my girlfriend are creating our lives, I a huge reason why all the wealth is because I want to be present in my life, similar to you. I want to be able to say, hey, you know, going to Paris today sounds fun. Let's go next week, and not have to ask someone to be able to take off, or not. Or I actually said this to myself in the car the other day. Some people call me crazy. I call this completely normal. But I'm like, I envision the day that I'm on vacation somewhere, call it Dominican Republic, and you know when like you're on that last day of vacation, you're like, dang, 3 more days would be nice, and like being able to actually stay 3 more days, you
Yeah.
know, like that's what I look forward to, man.
And
So
guys, if you haven't seen the world is a beautiful. I've been to the DR. I've been to Colombia. My girl and I were just in Colombia, bro. The food, it doesn't bloat you like American food. There's
yeah, man.
something in Europe and South America, these countries, bro. All those ingredients that are in our American food are not there. And
Yeah.
man, we were in Medellin, Guadalupe, Pereira, multiple places in Colombia for like 8 days. It was beautiful, bro. And we
I
could have
can
stayed
only,
longer, and that's the dream.
yeah, I can only imagine, dude. Um, so I want to resurface something. You've talked openly about getting out of depression. What
Mhm.
did you understand about money after that period that you couldn't see before?
Yeah, risk isn't what you think it is. So people are very connected to the amount of money that they're hoarding.
Mm,
And you need to understand that rich people know something you don't. Because if they didn't, Why are they rich and why are you not? This is what I said on my personal Instagram to everybody from San Jose who's like, they see I trade, they know what I do, but they trade on their own or they trade with other people. I'm like, you guys still ain't got no money.
Mm.
Money is supposed to be used to make more money, not for you to hoard it and spend it on garbage. So risk comes into that because I used to, like when I was depressed, I was like, I'm so scared to make a 10K investment. And I just realized I had to do it anyway because what's the other option? Figure it out on my own and stay fucking poor? Like, bro, the first 10K investment I ever made was in Cole Gordon learning how to run an online business.
Mm.
And I was so scared to swipe that Amex for 10K. I was so scared.
Yeah.
And I did it anyways. And that's what courage is. That's what separates winners from losers. People
Hmm.
that do what they're supposed to do despite fear.
Yep.
I always use this example. If I was single and I saw Halle Berry in a coffee shop in her prime, I'm going to be scared. I'm going to go do it anyways.
Hmm.
Who you want to
Yeah.
be? Who do you want to be? Like, do you want to be the person that lets emotion and fear dictate their decision making? Because I'm telling you, as somebody who acted even when fear was present, I lived the greatest life I could have ever imagined. I used to want to settle, bro. I used to be like, mm, I'll just work this W-2 that sucks. I won't pursue anything else, and I'll listen to all these other people here, even though they have nothing close to what I want, and I'll like make small talk at the water cooler and talk about my weekend to five people every 5 minutes, even though I just answered that question. Like, I don't want to do that over and over again. I want to wake up and run my fucking life and own my life, and that's what I do
Hmm.
now.
In control, man. Be in control. That's what it all comes down to. Dude, aside from everything you're doing with the options trading and who you are, like you are a personal brand at this point, dude. Like, I think you stand for great things. You're doing something great with your life, which I applaud to. I want to give the listeners a little bit of like supporting evidence of how strong or how important it is to build a personal brand. How has your journey building a personal brand served you?
Oh man, I mean, it's really easy to show somebody who doesn't know who I am. So this doesn't even apply for business owners, bro. If you have a job and you don't have a personal brand, you are really going to lose money in the long term because if nobody can figure out who you are quickly and see the way you speak on camera and see the way you write and see the way you put things together, man, like
Dude, it's like the modern day resume, a personal brand.
I know so many tech guys, bro, that yeah, I don't really do social media. Oh, you're okay. You're really cool, right? Like you're so cool for not having social media. I'm such a loser, right? You're right, right? So these people think they're so smart for not having a personal brand. It's like, bro, like, what are you saying? Like, what you like? I know people with jobs with killer personal brands that just get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity
Mhm.
because people know how to find you. They know what you're about. They know what you stand for, and they want to associate themselves with you.
Yes, 100%. How has it been like you building your personal brand? Like, what were some struggles you've had on your journey of building your personal brand?
I used to think it was about organic content going viral. So I used to think like, oh, I gotta say something that'll hook the audience, and it has to get 10,000 views, and that means I'm doing good.
Hmm.
No, bro, you need to have targeted content for people that give a shit about what you have to say, bro. Like I said, I make 200K plus a month. My YouTube has 600 subscribers.
Mm.
Those guys are bought in though. My
Wow.
Instagram has 5,000 subscribers, followers. I'm sorry, they're bought
Wow.
in. I know people with hundreds of thousands of followers, no monetization. So
No convert.
personal brand is nothing unless you know what to do with it.
Hmm.
Okay,
Unless you know who you're serving too, right?
that's who you know who you're serving. Podcasts are huge for me, bro, because people that want to hear what I have to say, I go on those platforms and speak in front of those audiences, and they'd listen. My girl even watched my Fresh and Fit episode, the last one, not the first one. The first one got like 20,000 views. The second one got 19, but live, because they do it live, she's like, "Oh, only 600 people watch. Is that low?" And I'm like, "No, those 600 people are bought in.
Mm,
If you show up live to Fresh and Fit, you're bought in
yeah,
already." So
exactly.
it's just understanding these vanity metrics are trash. I was looking at the wrong thing. Um, the right thing is, depending on what you're trying to do, obviously, but like, you got to speak in front of the right people.
Hmm.
Don't worry about views, and you got to run paid ads. If you have a business and you're not running paid ads, you're a clown. Like, honestly, like, it's the most important thing. We spent 6K on ads this month and made 55,000 so far. It's not even the end of April. I had my ads
Wow.
meeting today. That's the only reason I know that. So that's an 800% return. I can't even do that in the stock market in a month. That's impossible. So that's why people are confused. Oh, Cam, do you make more selling courses? Or, I don't even sell a course, first of all. But do you make more selling your trading system or trading? I make more selling my trading system, but my trading system is really fucking good, and it
Yeah,
works for me
exactly.
and it works for my clients. So,
Exactly.
ugh, all right.
That's it. Um, something else that comes to mind, dude, is like you've been on these podcasts, Fresh and Fit be one of them. I know that you recorded something with American Income the other day, right?
Rich Somers, American Income, Bradley. My episode drops end of the month. Bradley, Scott Clary is huge. Eugene Littman.
And the
Uh,
list continues.
yeah, Justin Colby, Entrepreneur DNA. Yeah, I got a lot. Yeah.
What's like if you had to summarize it into like one thing, what's the one thing you've learned from these high level professionals?
These guys understand not to have, okay, they understand the billionaire mindset. The billionaire mindset is, you got to think how billionaires are made. I talked about earlier, there's only so many industries in which people become rich and then wealthy: finance, tech, real estate, blah, 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 blah. All of these guys that I've been on their show, they're in all of these things. So they've diversified their risk of life by
Mm,
betting on a lot of things, and
there you go.
they've gotten really good, they've gotten great at one thing, but then diversified their risk into other things. So like for me, I've done that. People don't know this. This isn't even part of my personal brand yet. It will be soon. But I just invested 70K of my own cash into a peptide business, and there's a
Hmm.
specific reason why. Peptides are the trading of fitness,
Yep.
meaning everybody wants to get in better shape doing virtually nothing but pop a pill, or stab yourself with a needle,
Yeah.
right? So Ozempic, the list goes on. So I invested in this business, one, because I saw the numbers; two, because I trust the founder, because I know the founder for years; but three, it's the right business for me and my brand. Okay, I'm people are going to hate this. Once again, not financial advice. I make people fast money. I hate when people say this is not get rich quick. I'm not saying it's get rich quick. I'm saying I make
Yeah.
you fast money. I
There
make
you
you
go.
fast money compared to other things. It's just true. So peptides will also do that for me. But the point is, I don't have all my money in options trading or stocks or even my own business and my software and the consulting side. I also have money in other things. So what I've noticed about Bradley, Rich Somers, all these guys, Fresh and Fit, they are doing different things with their money. Fresh is a client of mine on the trading software, but we're also going to do other things together because it
Right.
makes sense. So, yeah, just understanding, bro, the richest people get really great at one thing, but then don't keep all their eggs in that one thing and spread it around.
And you diversify. Exactly. Exactly. That's what it really comes down to, man. As we approach the end of this episode, dude, I want to close out with a couple of things. Is there, because you offer the in for learning how to get started with options trading to almost anyone, I would say. Is there anyone that options trading isn't for?
Look, if you're like trying to put your last few, like, even if it's 2,500, I said it earlier, if you have 2,500 to your name and you want to put that in the market, I wouldn't recommend that. Options trading is not for people that are trying to turn their last few thousand into six figures overnight. Like, it's just, you got to have, and I always say this, when you have an expectation in life, Do you have something to compare it to, or is it just based on how you feel? And here's what I mean. Once again, another easy example. Do I want to date a runway model who has a PhD, who's worth 10 million, who's also 22? No, that's not fucking possible. I just made that up. You can't, first of all, you can't have a PhD at 22 anyways, let alone be worth 10 mil and be a runway model. I'm asking for too much. So
Yeah.
these options trading is not for people that have a few dollars and want to make six figures tomorrow, because that's your brain lying to you. I said I
Right.
make you fast money. I do, but you need to have money. So if you don't have really 2,500 to 10K of money you can let sit for a second, this isn't for you. And I can take you to my credit guys and go to the bank and get you more money so you can have 10 to 20K. Because, like I said, 10 to 20 to 50K, that's the sweet spot where it's like, dude, we'll double this money in a couple months.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to move. But the closer you get to that, like, $2,500 mark, the harder it is to really make movement.
Got it. And what would you say, like, for someone who listens to this episode and is like, dude, I think I'm ready to get started. What's a roadmap, like a clear roadmap to give that person?
Come trade, or at least watch us trade for 14 days for free. There's no risk. If you watch, what are you going to risk? Your time, sure. But, like, what else are you going to do? Right? Come watch, book a call, let's chat. There's no high pressure, bro. It doesn't matter to me whether you become a client or not, because I know what I have to offer and I know the results I get people. And we have too many testimonials. You can meet our clients on the inside. I've
Hmm.
taken Sahil on Fresh and Fit, one of our best clients. He turned 5K into 40 grand in 4 months. Like, come meet these guys and then decide. So, step one, come trade for 14 days or watch us trade for 14 days. It's up to you. If you take it seriously and you actually show up to the live streams, the study sessions, you will realize it's true. Now, if you have no time, I would still recommend joining the trial. At least review the resources when you're driving, listen to it.
Yeah.
Watch my video where I turn 25K into 100K and it's literally not edited. There's no way you can fake it. Do your due diligence and make a decision. If you have no time to trade, we have the software to automate the trades for you.
There you
I've
go.
solved every problem in the trading space.
Mm. Dude, he doesn't have it on his shirt for no reason. Cam, to close out this episode, I'd like to ask this question towards the end. If you were speaking to your younger self, the 21-year-old Cam, what would you say to him today?
Take risk now. Take risk now. I waited too long, bro. I should be way richer right now, bro. I'm telling you. I was so scared of my parents' scrutiny. Oh my God, you took out an American Express card for 0%? What about when the interest runs out? The fuck? What about when the interest runs out? Like, well, now they know I'm right. They know I'm
Yeah.
right now. But Hormozy said this too. You only have to be right once, and then
Mm-hmm.
everybody's wrong. Take more risk. American Express is not the mob.
Yep.
They're not going to come break your legs. You can
That's
repair
it.
your credit. It's okay if you make a mistake. Take more risk.
Take more risk, guys. Kam Dasani at Profit with Cam on his socials. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, I will leave all his information down below in the description. We will be publishing some content out there so you guys can interact with him, reach out to him if you guys are interested. Cam, from the bottom of my heart, man, on behalf of the community I'm building here, thank you so much for shooting this episode with us today. I'm excited to see where our relationship takes us and all the other opportunities that we're able to go down together. So thank you, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
All right, guys, this is episode, I believe now, what, 5 or 6 of the One Club podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until the next one, peace.